Hello and welcome to episode 426 of the Daily Sales Message Podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice. It's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff too. If you're new around here, my name is James Newell. I talk really fast, but I also teach people how to sell for a living, and for me it comes in two parts. It starts with having what I call a clear sales message. You've got to be able to explain what it is that you're selling to people so they can actually understand it, which sounds flippant, but if you ever had that issue where what you're doing is really complicated or hard to get across in a few words, that's the problem I solve. And then secondly, I teach people how to develop selling confidence, the ability to be relaxed and comfortable and confident in a selling situation. In today's episode of the podcast, as I check my notes, don't be afraid to test your buyer. This is something that I see more often than I'm happy with, but something I'm quite happy to do for some reason. Now, if I'm talking with somebody and I've got the slightest hint that maybe they're not interested in buying from me, which is absolutely fine, that's their prerogative, I'm not afraid to confront that. I'm not going to run away from that. So I might confront that and say, James, are you sure this is for you? Because it kind of feels like maybe you're having second thoughts. I will call them out on it. I will ask them questions. I will test them. I will kind of push back on them gently. I'm not going to be rude to people, but I'll gently push back on them and get them to qualify themselves to me. The thinking here being, if I'm a buyer and I really want to buy this glass of water, then if I'm asked a question or somebody pushed me back to qualify, if I really want that glass of water, I'm going to answer the question and I'm going to jump through the hoop. I'm going to do it. If I didn't really want that glass of water, then the slightest hint of any kind of testing or qualification, forget it, it's not worth it. I'm not interested. So it's a great way to stop wasting your time talking to people who are just not going to buy from you, but we're kind of clinging on to that. We're living in hope because it feels nice to live in hope. Think, oh, look at my big pipeline. Lots going on there. There's not much going on at all, but you're kind of fooling yourself. So test your buyers, ask them questions, call them out, say, I'm not sure. Are you sure this is right for you? Throw a seed of doubt. Qualify them. James, do you turn over £25 million a day? Because that's kind of the basic threshold we have. So I just want to be sure. So put in qualification, questions and features. Don't be afraid to push back, because the more time you spend talking with qualified buyers and the less time you spend talking with people just wasting your time, you'll feel better, but you'll also sell more stuff too. Really simple. Right, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Tomorrow in episode 427. 427 is possibly, and you can quote me this, possibly the best work you're ever going to do, the best paid work, you're ever going to do, but we'll cover that in tomorrow's episode. Thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it. I'll catch you tomorrow for an interesting edition of the Daily Sales Message.